Hi, how's everyone doing? Hope your weekends are starting off well. We are wrapping up our Native American recipes week with a fruit bread as a dessert. It's also from the Cherokee, which is the same tribe we got the Preheat recipe from. Slightly more adapted because of some of the ingredients that didn't quite exist when they had this that are now used in more modern adaptations by tribal members. So it seemed good and very fitting for summer too, because berries are in abundance at this point and they're so tasty. So a reminder, Cherokee tribe started off primarily in the southeast. We saw them kind of in like the Carolinas, Alabama, Tennessee, some even think parts like Mississippi area. Then through the Trail of Tears and the forced removal, they wind up primarily in kind of like Oklahoma area. There are still members today, of course, obviously much lower. But I think they're one where as long as you can prove any relation, you can claim tribal membership too, though remembering, of course, doing that if you're not actually like participating, probably not the best idea in the world, but if like you're doing it so that you can get into your heritage and understanding your history and looking to be a part of it, that's cool. All right, let's get to it. It's time for another episode of Cooking with Kaitlin. That's me. Enjoy. All right, we are preheating the oven to 350. Got a cup and a half of flour. I put 2 teaspoons of baking powder in there. And 1/8 of a teaspoon, so a half of this quarter one of some salt. There we go. And we're just going to sift that together and set it to the side till we need it. It's actually a honeyberry bread. And there's our oven preheated. All right, so we've got a stick of butter that is softened to room temperature, so we let it sit out for about an hour. That. I'm gonna cream that, and then we're gonna add in our sugar and our honey. All right, you guys, see? Just cream in that. Add the sugar in there with it, and then we'll do our honey. It's half a cup of sugar, by the way. And just creaming together. All right, well, get the honey, but I'm also getting a spatula because I know I'm going to need that to scrape a bit of it out. Alrighty. Getting all that yummy honey. We've got local honey. I got it at a farmer's market. Yay, vaccines. Being able to go do all those things again. And they say when you're using honey, because you know we use it in so many things medicinally, that it's best if it's local because it will have the bees pollinate with things that like are locally activating your allergies, so that's the best way to help. There's more sciencey stuff behind it, But that was the gist, was if you're able to buy local honey and all, then that is the better option if you can do it. All right. Or maybe you are a beekeeper yourself who makes or harvest their own local honey. That might be the word. And if so, very cool. Sorry, getting other ingredients together. All right, so we're gonna cream that all up. And smell that honey. So good. All right. Now we're going to add in half a cup of milk. Then we'll be adding in our eggs, then our dry ingredients, and then our berries. All right, let's get our eggs. One, two, I thought I set that one down a little too hard on the counter. And three. There we go, open up. Sorry, I'm just gonna wipe some of the egg whites off the counter real quick. Just to keep that clean. All right, now we're getting our eggs mixed in. All right, gonna pour in some of our dry ingredients. And then the rest. I know we're calling it a bread, but it's supposed to be probably a bit more, the way it's all described, more like cake batter, which is what we're seeing. And it is dessert, so that makes sense. All right. 1 second. All right, so the traditional fruit would have been to use huckleberry, which could not find. They also said you could substitute just blueberries or mixed berries. And since we already had the mixed berries from the nasomp, the forage, just went with that. Still had blueberries and strawberries and 1 raspberry. So we're coating that with just about a tablespoon's worth of flour. Now we're going to fold that, and we do that so that it helps it not sink to the bottom. So now we're just going to fold all of that in. And I know it doesn't look like a ton of fruit. It's still plenty for the amount we're making. You do have to be wary of adding too much fruit to cakes and breads because there's so much liquid in them. If you don't proportion it correctly, you can wind up very soggy, undercooked, and other issues. All right, 1 sec. All right, and the instructions say just 1 greased 9x5 loaf cake pan's all we need for this. So slice kind of like we slice like pound cakes and such. And you bake it about 45 minutes to an hour until you can insert a toothpick or a knife with this depth of knife, and it comes out clean. No wetness. We're just getting the last of that in there. All right. That's good. All right, so we're gonna put this in the oven. We'll check back when it's time to take it out. All right, we did the clean knife test. Took about an hour and 5 minutes. We're gonna let it just cool. We can serve and enjoy. So bon appetit. See you later.